Good evening.
Hello,
Uh,
sir.
can you
Very
hear
good
me?
evening.
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
you're loud and
Yeah.
clear.
Okay. We are meeting for the first time. So Priyanka kushwah. Kushwah.
Yes.
Okay. Where are you from, Priyanka?
So I'm from Madhya Pradesh, currently living in my hometown.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Now I'll just open a page for you because I keep a track of individual. One second. And so on. Okay. Tell me about yourself. Yeah. Just speak. I just want to know your background, family, education, work, whatever.
Okay, for
Okay.
sure. First of all, thank you so much for giving me this
Yeah.
opportunity. Where
You're welcome. Yeah.
I'm Priyanka kushwah, as you know, and I'm connecting to you from Madhya Pradesh
Hmm.
and currently living in my hometown. When it comes to my education, I'm in my master's second year of MBA with the specialization of marketing and finance.
Hmm.
And apart from this, I'm running my YouTube channel. It's been almost 2.5 years. I'm
Hmm.
working on my channel, and my channel is all about spoken English conversation. I connect with co-learners and good speakers.
Hmm.
So this is how I'm trying to, work upon my communication skills. And when it comes to my hobbies, I like to read books, and dancing is also one of my hobbies. So that's all about me. And yeah, about my family. So my father is a teacher and my mother is a proud homemaker.
Okay. Okay. Great. I think you're probably, yeah, I met another lady who's also into YouTube.
Okay.
What do you call yourself? Influencers, teachers, educators? I don't know, whatever it may be. She is not a, yeah, she's sort of an influencer, I would say. She keeps putting these videos out most of the time. But I
Okay.
mean, I have met her many times during these classes. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, I am from Kerala, which is right down south in the coastal area. But I haven't
Mhm.
spent much time in my own home state, unfortunately. I just studied 1 year in Kerala, and then I was in Bangalore for a major part of my life. Uh, you know, formative years, school, college,
Okay.
working, marriage, children, everything. And then I moved to Hyderabad for a short stint, career-wise, and then I was out of India. I was in Dubai for about 22 years, and
Mhm.
came back in 2017, and then I started training. I was in the sales field, so I spent a lot of time traveling around when I was there also. And I started training people, and then went into uh, communication, public speaking, interview skilling, group
Okay.
discussions, anything to do with job prospects, etc. And then IELTS. Finally, IELTS. Then I finished my TESOL, so I'm an English teacher, qualified English teacher, and I just love the language. Essentially, my interest is more about the language than anything else, and I like to pass on as much as I can. I also teach away from Englishyaari, so I do live training for students from sixth standard to the 12th, or college guys or working professionals and so on. So yeah, you've probably come to the right place. How long have you been with Englishyaari?
It's my ninth session on Englishyaari.
9, so it's not too long. Okay,
Yeah.
if you want to specifically address you know I mean issues you may have with English, what would it be?
Okay. Well, some of the issues which I self identified, that
Yeah.
is sometimes, I want to express more, but because of the lack of vocabulary, or sometimes
Hmm.
I struggle with this
Hmm.
issue. So that's
Hmm.
why I think it's high time to work upon this.
But you say you read English books, right?
Yes.
What sort of books do you read?
Self-help books at present, I mean, or sometimes I read online as well, whatever topic interests me. So I just go for that.
Okay, okay. So you do you consider yourself a voracious reader or an average reader?
Well, I consider myself average reader, but I'm developing interest in it.
Yeah, right. No, no. I think essentially, if you're looking at vocabulary, what is vocabulary? Basically, it's uh, choice of words, right?
Yes.
Or using better words, more complex sentences, able to present yourself differently from others,
Hmm.
more emphatic, more decisive the way you speak, and so on. If you're reading well, you're reading regularly, you should be able to build up a certain what is it treasure of words as a prayer,
Yeah.
you know, uh, and it's important that you use them. Uh,
Okay.
Many people I teach, uh, they may understand the word, they may not understand a lot of words, but they don't use them. So when you don't use them, like for example in synonyms, you have different words for the same word, right? And some of the words are more complex, a little more, you know, uh, let's say, mm, skilled when you're using them. So if the person, even if he understands the meaning of the word, he or she doesn't use them in day-to-day conversation,
Okay.
which means you actually don't make an effort to, mm, or even take a risk of using them at
Mm-hmm.
the fear of making a mistake.
Yes.
Sometimes you say, if I use a word in the wrong place, it may sound stupid, or the person may not understand me, or person may think I'm trying to show off, uh,
Yes.
you know, flowery words or bombastic words and things like that. You don't have to use bombastic words, but yeah, you can use, for example, if you use a word like beautiful,
Okay.
there are other words you can use for beautiful, right? You can say pretty,
Yes.
you can
Pretty.
say gorgeous, you can say stunning. It depends on how you use the word there. So suddenly when you use words which are a little bit not run of the mill, as we say, run of the mill means common words.
Hmm.
When you use slightly better words, you just come across as a better speaker,
Okay. Yeah.
right? Right. So it's just that you may know the word but you're not using them, or it doesn't come to you at that point of time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's actually happens because we like I know the words. Okay, these are words, some of which I inculcate in my vocabulary. But when it comes to the speaking on the spot, I just forgot about it. It happens many times because now I'm working upon fluency because basic idea it's very clear. I can communicate
Hmm.
with anyone. But when it comes to adding new words and some you said bombarding and aesthetic
Yeah.
words,
Yeah.
so that just create problem.
Give me a sec. I think I've run out of battery. One sec. Let me
Okay,
plug
sure,
in.
sure.
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry. Now, if I give you an opportunity to speak for 3 minutes about a topic which
okay.
I will pick, okay,
Hmm.
I give you a minute to think about it, which is to get your mind around that topic. Can you speak for 3 minutes?
Yeah, yeah, for sure,
Right?
definitely. I would love to
Because I
see.
think your the way you speak is fine. I probably need to only look at, are you using better words? Are you able to use better vocabulary and able to
Hmm.
impress the audience? Let's say, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Uh, okay, I'll give you a topic which is also probably close to you, close to your heart, is social media today. Okay, what is the impact of social media on day-to-day life? Okay, what are the
Hmm.
positives of social media? What are the negatives of social media? And can we live without it
Okay.
as we go forward?
So,
Right? Think about it, just for you to put some thoughts in your mind, and talk for 3 minutes.
okay. Just
Yeah.
give me a moment.
Yeah. Did you get the topic?
Yes, as
Yeah.
you said that, first of all, impact of social media, positive aspects and negative aspects, and can we live without it or not?
Yes. Yes. Right.
Okay. Can I start, sir?
Yes. Go.
Okay. So first of all, when it comes to social media, it is booming at present, and it is something which is very useful because we should be updated with the trends and what is coming in the market. And as a social media, I mean, I'm also on YouTube. I also learn from YouTube. Whatever I learn, related to grammar concept. If I face any difficulty, so I go on social media, especially the YouTube where I watch videos. So if I talk about the positive aspects of social media, so it's time saving because I don't have to struggle, for classes and all. If I have to learn any new skill, because their playlists are there, we can master any skill, and those tutors are really, expert in that, so we can study. And the next thing is that, I mean, we can master any skill. There is no foundation from social media. And but some of the negative aspects also about social media, that is it is um, distracting a youth if we are using in a negative manner, let's say just scrolling through Instagram reels and Snapchat reels. So this is and in on YouTube also there is a feature shorts. So if young, if the youth is distracting themselves in that process, so that is going to hamper their personality or their time also. So they just focus on utilizing their time or using social media for their growth, not for their you can say disadvantage. And the third point, which is of course, can we live without social media or not? So I think no, because at present it is not possible. Earlier scenarios may be different, but at present, because how will you connect with your friends? How will you build your network? And most of the people are, making money from social media. So you cannot completely hide yourself and just, delete all Instagram or sorry, social media platforms. So it is not. Otherwise, you know you will be separated from the what actually happening. So I don't think so that we can live without social media.
One last point I would like you to expand on is, um, what would you tell people with regard to usage of social media? How would you want them to use it better,
Okay.
which is beneficial to them rather than being detrimental? Yeah.
Okay, so how they can use the main thing is that what I do, I'm also a student or a YouTuber as well. So I have to restrict myself. I just set the specific timing for okay, this time I will be studying, this time I will be working on my channel, and apart from this, for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I do enjoyment also because everything is important as a human being. So we want to enjoy, we want to have fun, so there should be a proper time limit for these things. That is not so that these things will not affect that much in our progress.
Okay, great. The word which comes to my mind, but when you're suggesting how to use social media, is balance.
Okay,
Okay.
balance.
Uh, because one of the things you normally advise younger people is, you need to have a balance in how you handle anything. Relationships, there's a balance. Social media is a balance. Life and work, balance. Okay.
Hmm.
Fun and exercise or fun and dieting is balance. Too much of anything is not a good idea. Going to extremes of you know either side. Spectrum is this side or that side. It needs to be somewhere in the middle, right? Easier
Indeed.
said than done. Easier said than done. But because on an average, they say, if somebody spends more than 4 or 5 hours in a day on a screen, you're probably an addict of sorts. Because you can't get away from the screen. As long as you're using it for a purpose of work, it's fine. I mean, it's not that you're sitting on a computer and working and that's an addiction. But if you're an addiction on social media, you spend so much of time on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, or, there's so many options these days. With you wouldn't know how much of time you're spending, and
Yes.
that can be a waste because there's so much of overload of information. I don't know how much of information you can actually use, where information can be seen as knowledge. Okay,
Mhm.
it's just a lot of information, and nobody knows how to use them. Okay, fine. You speak well. You have a presence. You have a very strong body language in terms of how confidence you have. Few words which I would like you to work on, which are very small words, which I think sort of emphasizes a certain amount of mother tongue influence from where
Okay.
you come from, are these small words like those, and, but, that. So when you are speaking, you're probably emphasizing a little bit. For example, how you're saying it is the the D is emphasized, that T is emphasized.
Okay.
Okay, don't, T is emphasized. So when you're speaking, you're not conscious of it,
Mhm.
because that's how you speak. So unless somebody is listening to you and say that It's a bit like if you don't use filler words, which is good, because many people when they give a long speech, they actually have
Okay.
words like um, by the way, by the by,
Mhm.
basically. This all means nothing. It
Okay.
means nothing. It's just buying time in your mind
Hmm.
because you don't know what to say. So you say basically, this is what I want to say. So basically, when you say that, there's nothing, there's no meaning. So instead, you could say things like words like connecting words like subsequently,
Okay.
consequently, moreover, therefore, however.
Sure.
These are good English words to use, and these are not fillers. These are not.
Mhm.
These are connectors. Actually, you connect a sentence to a para to a you know a larger
Okay.
passage, right? You don't use too many fillers. You're all right because I was part of Toastmasters where one of the things we do is to count the fillers.
Okay.
And when you finish your speech, and if I tell you you've used Priyanka, you used 10 fillers, you won't believe it. But
Okay.
you have, because it's subconscious. So
Mhm.
similarly, words like what I said, those, and, don't, can't, that, there's a little emphasis which brings about a certain amount of mother tongue influence,
Okay.
which most people have some kind of mother tongue influence. But you need to, especially since you're on uh, a social media platform, it's important
Mhm.
that you iron out those small things.
Definitely.
How you would say is those, and, can't, don't, that.
True.
There's no emphasis on T and D's when you're
Okay.
ending. Like some people say judged, instead of just saying judged.
Judged. Yes.
Emphasis on certain words which can sort of signal a certain amount of mother tongue influence. Because you want to
Okay.
be, as far as possible, you want to be a little neutral uh,
Mhm.
when you're speaking, where a person is not able to say where you're from, right?
Okay. Definitely.
You could be from Delhi, you could be from Bombay, you could be from the south. Doesn't matter. So those things, if you work on and use better vocabulary, meaning choice of words. Sometimes
Choice.
you're at you when you're speaking about various aspects, you're at a loss for words in terms of how to put it better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For example, you could work in social media. You could, for example, balance is one word I use. You could say deterrent. You could say
Different.
addiction.
Okay.
You could say excessive. You know,
Yes.
screen time. These are subject matter words which uh, connect the speech to that particular subject. And there
Mm-hmm.
would be other words in social media which you can come up with. I'm sure if you just Google, you will get words which are related to social media and how you need to speak about it. So if you can work on that, then you're able to talk about not only social media, any other subject I may give you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say education in India, or
Okay.
women empowerment, feminism. These are words which may be close to your heart, you know, in terms of
Yes.
what you want to speak. So these are things where you need to use subject matter words and
All
not
right.
not use ordinary words, simple words.
Okay.
It doesn't impress somebody who's listening to you, right? Otherwise, your speech, the skill of speaking is very good. You're very confident. As I said, your the way you present yourself is good, because I think you're very comfortable in front of a screen, which a lot
Yeah.
of people aren't. So all that helps. Okay,
Mhm.
presentable personality, carrying yourself well. The body language is confident. You're very sure. I mean, your voice and your thought seems to be very clear on what you want to say. So that's all good. So it's a good start for me to see that you probably are heading towards being a uh, far better speaker than you are already, and you're probably
Okay.
very close to it. I think you just need to probably focus on. Uh, for example, I'm just looking at some synonyms where you could have a variety of words to use.
Okay.
If you're talking about educated, this word educated, simple word. Can you
Mhm.
give me two other words?
Educated. Um, Literate.
Yes, perfect. One more.
Mm, what are the words?
There's another word which is well read, which is usually used in conversation. There's even a more complicated word which is erudite. Erudite is ERUDITE. So
Okay.
he's a you can say he's a well-read person,
Mm-hmm.
or he's a literate person, as you said. Is the right word.
Yes.
Literate is a very correct word. Erudite is a little more complicated, more complex. Similarly, another word is uh, what shall I ask you? Domineering. You've heard the word domineering, which means
No.
somebody who's dominating, right?
Dominating.
Your
Okay.
boss is domineering usually. Every boss is domineering, right? So
Okay.
if you're looking at another word for domineering,
Mm, means a kind of monopoly. I mean, they try to overpower things.
overpowering is a word.
Okay.
Bossy is another word.
Bossy.
Yeah,
Okay.
dominating is another word. Uh, overbearing is another word.
Okay.
So you could say my boss is overbearing. I mean, it's a little rarer word compared to saying dominating
Mm-hmm.
or using the word bossy. So the idea behind synonyms is just that you have a choice of words you can use. Uh,
Yes.
so it just makes your English better,
Okay.
more not just complex. It just makes it more stylish, more
Yes. Definitely.
variety, and somebody listening to you saying, "Wow, she's using those words which I never heard of," or rarely used by people. Because simple words make simple sentences. It also makes simple speeches. Uh,
Yes.
Complex words makes complex speeches, and so better speeches. You come through as a far better spoken person. Yeah. So
Indeed.
any word you use, if you're going to use words in your speeches, even during your YouTube, try to use words which are uh, away from the normal run of the mill. Run of the
Okay.
mill means is words you normally use,
Definitely. I'll
and
go
then
for
suddenly
it.
your sentences look better.
Okay.
Only thing is make sure you use it in the right context.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it might be misconstrued or misinterpreted or misunderstood, as the case may be. So we spend a
Mhm.
little time on synonyms because I think what you need to actually do is to better your language. If
Okay.
you do that, most of it is ticked. I think
Mhm.
it's fine. Okay, nice
Yeah.
meeting you. Hope to see you again, Priyanka, and
Yeah.
good luck.
Thank you so much.